Happy Thursday. Guess what? It is time for cocktails. Now, today what I have for you is we are going to make a Christmas punch, like a Christmas party punch. Sherry, this one's for you. I know you said you wanted something that you could make for a crowd and you wanted rum-based. So what I found is a great recipe that we're going to try today that you can definitely use rum in, or if you want to be all Wisconsin, you can use brandy. Now, I'm using brandy today because, believe it or not, I am out of dark rum. Added to the Costco list, have no fear, we'll get more. But today we're gonna use the brandy for our punch. So this is a really easy one, and the recipe makes a gallon. So we're going to make a gallon of punch, and shout out to the Bunko ladies who are coming over here tonight. I'm gonna have brandy punch for you, all ready to go. This is perfect, it's perfect how it works out. So a couple things I'm gonna show you today. We're going to be slicing up some fruit to put in here. We're gonna make it real pretty. And we've got some cranberries. Now, it says put some cranberries in there to float them. The recipe actually calls for like getting a big punch bowl and putting a ton of ice in it, like 5 cups of ice, and then pouring all your ingredients in. But here's the thing. When you put your ice in your drink like that, it's just gonna dilute it. And then when everybody shows up later, they're not gonna have really nice punch, they're gonna have diluted punch. Pouring it over ice when you go to drink it is fine, but it's not gonna stay cold between now and then. So I'm just gonna make this up in the pitcher. We're gonna throw it in the outdoor fridge, AKA the garage, and then it'll be nice and cool for later. So what I did with the cranberries actually is the other day when I got them, I rinsed them all off, I washed them, and I threw them in the freezer. So these are actually frozen cranberries now. You can see the ice in there, okay? So what I'm gonna do is later, when everyone shows up and I pull this out, I'm actually just gonna throw the frozen cranberries in there, and that'll help keep the drink cold without diluting it. So that's an idea of something that you can do. And you can do that with any fruit. You know, if your punch calls for strawberries or raspberries or blueberries, you can always freeze those fruits or get frozen versions and just throw those in, and they'll help keep your drink cold without diluting it, and in fact, it'll actually add a little bit of flavor as the time goes on. All right, so let's start with the actual base of our recipe here. All right, so we need 5 cups of cranberry juice, 100% cranberry juice, not juice cocktail. We want like actual juice. Okay. So 5 cups. I love these measuring cups, the Easy Read. The numbers are written, well, it's printed on the outside, but it's written so that you can read it while it's sitting on the table, while it's on the counter. So you can always know exactly how much you're pouring in there. It's not one of those where you have to like hold up and try to read it, and are you holding it at an angle? No, it's nice and flat. So this one's 4 cups, and we need 5 cups total, so we'll just add another cup. All right. So we've got 5 cups of cranberry juice. All right. We need 2 cups of apple cider, which, by the way, Aldi had this nice fresh apple cider for a really good deal the other day when I was there. So if you're looking for apple cider, that's where I got it from. What did I say, 2 cups? 2 cups. All right, so 2 cups of apple cider. All right, now the next ingredient is some ginger ale, 1.5 cups. This calls for diet ginger ale, but I'm using regular. You can do whatever you want. Now this is one of those recipes, I am sure, that we can mix it up. Now we're putting cranberries in here, like, I probably should have just gotten the cranberry ginger ale. This time of year we have that available, and it is so good, the cranberry ginger ale, and it can just give it a little bit different flavor. Now, if ginger ale is not your thing, you could definitely do any sort of white or clear soda. You could do, you could do just a club soda or a tonic water if you wanted it to be a little less sweet. You could do like a Sprite or a Sierra Mist if you wanted to give it a little bit different zing. You can do all sorts of things. So, 1.5 cups of the ginger ale. All right, and then we get to the good stuff. Okay, so we need 2 bottles of like a sparkling wine, okay? So like a champagne or Prosecco, all right? And we've just got this Brut sparkling wine here. All right, All right. Fancy schmancy. Whoop! That one got me today. They don't usually catch me off guard like that. All right. So just some sparkling wine. Like I said, 2 bottles. You could probably get one of the large ones at Costco too if you wanted. That would work out. But let me tell you, sometimes Aldi has some really good deals on things, and that's where I got these. I happened to be there when I was doing my shopping, and so I picked up actually most of the ingredients there. So, minus the brandy, which was Costco. All right. That one didn't startle me as much. Okay, so after we add this in, we're gonna add in the brandy. Like I said, you could also do rum. You could probably do any sort of dark liquor. And we need 1.5 cups of that. And then we're gonna get our garnishes in here, our fruit. Gonna give it a little bit of a fresh flavor, and it's gonna look pretty. So, let's get our brandy, 1.5 cups. And look at this nice color. It smells really good, guys. Really, really good. All right. 1.5 cups. I want to know, go ahead and comment. Tell me what kinds of holiday drinks are your favorite this time of year. And as always, keep sending me messages if there are things that you want to see, ideas that you need. I love having a little challenge of trying to figure out what to make next. All right, so here we go. So there's 1.5 cups of our brandy. All right. Now, the quick stir pitcher, it's awesome. It's got this plunger. So we just put this in, and then we just mix it like this. Now, I have a bunch of fizzy stuff in here, right? We've got the ginger ale, we've got the sparkling wine. So don't get all crazy pumping this thing really fast. Otherwise, you're gonna make a Christmas punch volcano. And we don't need that. Okay, so we got that mixed, and we're gonna add in some sliced oranges. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the simple slicer and hope that my oranges will fit in here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it'll fit. Oh, we're good, okay. Here I thought my oranges would be too fat for a second. You know, I have never made a brandy slush. I definitely should do that. I've never made one. All right. All right. So, now the simple slicer is going to make nice, beautiful slices really quickly and easily. But when you start getting down a little bit lower, do not throw your fingers in there. This is really sharp. We have a food holder. All right. All right. So we get to the end of that. My dog seems to think that there's something exciting in here for him. Little does he know, he doesn't like citrus. All right, so look at these beautiful slices. Aren't those pretty? Look at those. This is the number 2 setting that I did. All right, so we're just gonna throw these in here. Now, since I started with a whole orange, we're gonna have at the bottom here, we're gonna have this little like end cap piece that there's nothing here but your pith, and we don't want that in there. You know, I think I'm gonna take all this juice that's collecting on this cutting board, and I'm gonna pour that in too. Because this looks really good. Also slightly messy. That's okay. All right, now the nice thing about this cutting board here is it's flexible, so I can just kind of pick it up and just go, whoop, pour it in. I only made a little bit of a mess, it's okay. All right, so now I'm gonna add the other orange. So there's gonna be 2 oranges in there. Isn't that pretty? It's really pretty. So we'll have the other orange in there, and then, I'm gonna pour out a glass so I can try it. But then I'm just going to let it rest, and I'm gonna let it hang out until all the ladies come over tonight. Oops. Slides off the end sometimes. Tip for you guys, if you have the simple slicer, if you saw I just like slid it off the end, a little tip for you guys so that doesn't happen, take your simple slicer and just hold it up higher, because then you can hit the cutting board and it won't slide off the end until you're ready and you ask it to slide off the end. All right, now this one I did on the number 3 setting, so they're a little bit thicker. It went just a little bit quicker. Take out the ones that are just 100% pith. And you guys know why you don't want the pith in there? This white part that's in the rind. I mean, you're gonna have some of it in your slices, but like these big chunks, that's all it is. Do you know why you don't want this in there? And like when you're zesting a fruit, why you make sure to only zest the very outside, right? Because you have just the very, very outside where you have that nice citrus and that nice flavor and color. So when you zest, you only get the very outside. You're constantly rotating your fruit as you zest, so you don't get this part of here. That white part's called the pith, and it's really bitter, okay? It doesn't have that nice, light, fresh flavor of the rest of the fruit. It doesn't have that fresh flavor like all these little cells filled with juice or those nice oils that are on the outside. So the pith, that's right, it's bitter. You don't want it in your food. And a little something I always share with people, how are you gonna remember that it's called the pith? Like, that's a fun trivia for trivia night. How do you remember it's called the pith? I will tell you. Because it's really bitter, and if it gets in your food, it'll pith you off. True story. And that's like the worst joke in the book, but that's all I've got. Okay. So there we go. So we've got our oranges in here. And now I have the stickiest hands ever because oranges are sticky. But that's okay. All right, so there we go. So this is the Christmas party punch. I can see as I'm mixing, I can see some of the orange kind of integrating in there. Some of those little bits that broke off. It looks really pretty. I wish you could see this better. I don't know if you can. It's like swirling deliciousness of bubbles and orange and all sorts of goodies. So, all right. Yep, so tonight, right before everybody comes over, I am going to put these back in my freezers for now, but I'm going to throw my frozen cranberries in there and mix those around too. And then that'll help keep it nice and chilled. It'll look pretty. And it'll just give it a little extra flavor as those thaw. And they'll thaw out pretty quickly because they're little cranberries, but it'll be good. So there you go. Christmas party punch, all ready to go. Today's version made with brandy, but again, you could definitely do rum. I mean, honestly, you could mix it up and do anything. Like if you're really a vodka person, you could probably do vodka in here and be totally fine. So let me know if you guys make this one. I really like the idea of making brandy slush, and I might have to do that for a future episode. We'll see. I'll have to go look it up. Bridget, if you have a favorite recipe, you should send it to me. All right, guys, everybody have a great Thursday, a great weekend. We will see you next week. We'll come up with something also nice and festive next week because it'll be our last one right before Christmas. So we'll have something fun for you guys. And then we'll be starting to get some drinks ready for the new year. And that doesn't mean that they're going to be healthy. That means they're going to be festive. All right? Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.